Hey trainers, Professor Pokemon here, aka Alakaham, here to bring you some more Pokemon video magic. And as some of you know, I was really wrestling with the Remix Cup. I was trying to do really well and improve my strategies, but it was really tough for me. But I love playing in the Ultra League. I've been eagerly waiting for it to roll back around, and I've been working on adding secondary charge moves to several legendary Pokemon so that I would be really prepared when the Ultra League came back around. So the best team that I've come up with so far that's really brought my score back up by a couple hundred points is going to be the one that's displayed on your screen there, and I'm going to show you how this team works. So the first battle is actually one that starts with Scissor, because Scissor gives offense on meta Pokemon like Giratina and Togekiss and Articuno. But in this case, I ended up hitting an Empoleon, which is not a really great matchup for Scissor. So I swapped immediately into my recently improved Cresselia. I added Grass Knot, and then they swapped over into Venusaur. I thought that was a little bit odd because we are going to be doing super effective damage with our fast move. But what I didn't realize at the time is that Venusaur resists fairy attacks like Moonblast, right? And then of course it resists grass type attacks as well. So if I would have had a psychic move like Future Sight, then the Venusaur would have been in trouble, but I don't. I have fairy and grass, so I just decided to let the Cresselia go and then swap into the Articuno. So this big flower toad thing ended up becoming a bigger thorn in my side than I anticipated. We did eventually farm down with Articuno, but here comes the Empoleon again, which is going to resist all of Articuno's attacks. So, yeah, penguins do just fine in their Arctic environments, right? This Articuno is not going to do anything to the little metal penguin. I thought that perhaps I could swing the odds of the match by attacking with Hurricane and then doing an aggressive swap into Scissor, but as it turned out, that did not exactly pan out, and then they had another frog, this time a water frog, Swampert, to finish off all of my Pokemon. So there's a big risk with Scissor that if you're not seeing things that are weak to steel or dark in kind of your daily meta, that it's not going to pan out really well. So I just swapped out to Sirfetch'd, which is my favorite lead for the Ultra League. And in match number 2, we ended up having a favorable matchup because Sirfetch''s fast move, Counter, is going to be super effective against steel types, like that big old hunk of robot there. We do have to shield up the attacks that Registeel are going to throw at Sirfetch'd because they're going to be enormous, but fortunately it takes long enough for Registeel to power up that we could just farm down and get a bunch of energy. So now they've thrown Cresselia, and Cresselia is pretty tanky. It can definitely swallow several super effective attacks, but we did get you see here 3 Night Slashes through. That's oh, they shielded that one, yeah. But yeah, 3 super effective attacks after that farm down, so that was really great. And their Cresselia is going to charge a little less slowly than mine is because they have Confusion. I decided to tank that attack and then swap over to Articuno, and I decided to go for Hurricane because I figured that they thought they were very safe from anything that Articuno could throw at a fire type, but they weren't, and the surprise Hurricane attack worked out in the end. Then we were able to just farm down with Articuno's Ice Shard fast attack. So that match went a little bit better, and it made me think, hey, I should just keep going with this group. Sirfetch'd is working as a lead. We'll see what happens. And again, we come up against a positive lead here. And it's not often that you see Porygon. Porygon Z there is an interesting choice, so that's always fun to see Pokemon like that show up. Now, this is a heavy damage team, right? So things like Porygon and Gengar are really glassy, but if you actually take a charge move from any of them, it's going to be very, very hurtful. So I tried to be leery here. I was trying to be really, really careful. We launched the Icy Wind against Porygon Z, and then they've had a long time to charge, so I decided to shield up there, and it was a good thing I did because they had Zap Cannon ready to go. And I figured they were close to getting the Tri-Attack, so I went ahead and launched the attack from Sirfetch'd. We did get the attack boost, so that was great. My little goose is stronger than ever, and they were out of shields, which means we could just finish off their Swampert with a Leaf Blade. Swampert is super annoying. Even though I love using it, I hate going up against it, and it's always super satisfying to be able to one-shot a Swampert. Okay, this is not exactly a positive lead, but we can do some neutral damage with Leaf Blade, and we do charge a little bit faster than the Alolan Muck. So we're going to throw some leaves at our little rainbow blob. They decided to swap out to Abomasnow, which is an interesting choice. One would think perhaps that Abomasnow would be resisted as it's attacking Articuno, because it's an ice type and they're both ice types, but that's not exactly true because Articuno is part flying type, so it does take neutral damage from those ice attacks, and Abomasnow charges very, very fast. But we did take down the snowman with our bird, and hopefully the bird has enough energy to attack Muck. Okay, so we do have to shield up there. And I went ahead and expanded the shield because I wanted to get to that Icy Wind to make the Muck's attack less strong. That way we could bring in Sirfetch'd no problem and not have to worry about taking damage. That does put us at a disadvantage for shields, but it worked out really great that there was another Swampert in the back for this particular team, because we can take at least one Hydro Cannon. I guess I decided not to. Really the important thing is to threaten those shields with Leaf Blade. They have to shield, otherwise they lose. But Cresselia can also defeat a Swampert from this range using Grass Knot, and Cresselia can take a lot of Hydro Cannons. So again, the Froggy in the back does not rise victorious. Having those Grass-type attacks ready to go as secondary charge moves can be really important in the open Ultra League because so many people love to run Swampert. This time we hit another Empoleon, but I am much more prepared for the Empoleon this time than I was in the first match. They switch into Giratina Origin. You don't see those quite as often as Giratina Altered in the Ultra League, but Giratina Origin is very threatening in its own right. Its defense is not quite as strong. It's not as tanky as Giratina Altered, so if it takes an attack like Night Slash, it's going to do a lot more damage, and they went ahead and let the Night Slash through. At this point, I figure Articuno has done its job, and I'm just going to let it go down, more or less. But I got in as much damage as I could using the whatever charge moves I was able to build up during the match. And we got to another Icy Wind, which is great because now that Empoleon is double debuffed, and we don't have to worry as much about its attacks. But with Sirfetch'd, it's hard to be too careful because Sirfetch'd is pretty glassy. It's very strong, but it's pretty glassy. And we hit another Venusaur. So you remember that was bad news for us last time. And I swapped over to Cresselia more or less to just try and soak damage from this Venusaur. If we can chip it enough, then I can come back in with Sirfetch'd, and the goose can muscle out the frog. But it takes whittling down this Venusaur's strength in order to actually accomplish that. So I go for Moonblast here, now that the shields are down, because the Moonblast can potentially affect the stats of the opponent. I expect that Cresselia goes down here. Yeah, Cresselia goes down, but we are very close to a Night Slash on Sirfetch'd, so we are able to goose out our opponent at the end there. So I was very pleased to actually be able to win 4 out of 5 to do a little bit better than breaking even. I was struggling just to break even with the Remix Cup, but the Ultra League has been going a lot better. I really like this team that I was showcasing for you today, but I have some other teams that I think are going to be pretty fun as well, and I will bring those to your attention in other videos soon. I hope you're having fun with the Ultra League yourselves. Tell me about what's working or not working for you in the comments if you'd like, and I'll talk to you next time, trainers.